But why did?
Agora grole bacalo, grole bacá, grole bacá,
Ẹjọ́ lásìwà, ẹjọ́ lásìmẹ̀, ẹjọ́ lásìwà, lásìmẹ̀, ẹjọ́ lásìwà, lásìmẹ̀, ẹjọ́ lásìwà. We don't need pepper again.
Aê, gbọ́ fá o. Àyè máa ṣe èrò, yẹn máa gbọ́ fá o. Àmàlẹ́mìyà o. Àyè máa ṣe yẹn máa gbọ́ fá o. Àmàlẹ́mìyà o. Àyè máa ṣe yẹn máa gbọ́ fá o. Àmàlẹ́mìyà o. Káyọ̀ kọ́lọ́ yẹn ló gbé. Jimela si o, mẹ́ka yìí o. Nípa nípa wò nípa. Ayé. Ayé. Achẹ. Yẹ́nì sọ fún abò, yẹ́nì sọ fún abò. Yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo, yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo. Yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo, yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo. Yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo, yẹ́nì sọ fún abolo. Péré tí bọ̀, péré tí bọ̀. Kàbẹ̀sí bọ̀, miwẹ̀ kábàlù, kábàkábàlù, kábàkábàlù. Kàbẹ̀sí bọ̀, miwẹ̀ kábàlù, péré tí bọ̀, péré tí bọ̀. Kàbẹ̀sí bọ̀, miwẹ̀ kábàlù, kábàkábàlù, kábàkábàlù. Kàbẹ̀sí bọ̀, miwẹ̀ kábàlù, péré tí bọ̀. Kàbẹ̀sí bọ̀, miwẹ̀ kábàlù, kábàkábàlù.
I have to stop. But why did?
Àwọn akọ̀rọ̀lẹ̀ bàtà ló. Akọ̀rọ̀lẹ̀ bàtà. Akọ̀rọ̀lẹ̀ bàtà. Akọ̀rọ̀lẹ̀
Ẹjọ́ lásì wá, ẹjọ́ lásì yẹn, ẹjọ́ lásì wá, lásì yẹn, ẹjọ́ lásì wá, lásì yẹn, ẹjọ́ lásì wá.
Bokor Silver, man. Silver.
Silver there.
Oh, that one. That's one of Hey, we don't need pepper again.
So I have to stop. But why did?
Agrole bakalo, agrole baka, agrole baka, agrole
Ẹjọ́ lásì wá, ẹjọ́ lásì mẹ́, ẹjọ́ lásì wá, lásì mẹ́, ẹjọ́ lásì wá, lásì mẹ́, ẹjọ́ lásì wá.
camera. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and I'm very grateful that you are here with us. I think on the what do you call it? We are also on Clubhouse. Thank you everybody in Clubhouse. Thank you people in Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Today is another interesting day, and I'm going to pray. And then I'm also dedicating today's teachings to our brother, our son, our cousin, somebody's junior brother, somebody's senior brother, somebody's cousin, the son of our sister, our daughter, a person like Khadija Gani, Khadifisha, and sisters, the brothers. I'm dedicating today's teachings to the memory of our son, Kairi Gani, who was buried last Saturday, which was yesterday, and today we are in Sunday here. So today's teachings and everything is dedicated to his memory. May the ancestors give him peace and give him a resting place, and may he come back quickly back to the living or to this phase of life so that he can continue his journey. I love him so much, and I love you all. Thank you very much. I'm going to pour libation, and then from there we will go on. This is big fita. Oh, Mauga Sombolisa Abudago, Mauga Kitikata Abudago, Mauga Joto, Amejoto, Sena Mame, Seti and Mame, Woman of Evi, Woman of Evi, maybe I'm Doctor Bueno, Doctor be a woman of you, Bells. But you're sending Popolico, Selatafia, a senior Amen, Senior Amen, Say George. You're at the end of Quahara. But you should have for a show, send me for a show, but they do a brass, me was the Agreco dog, we are a director of every poor. Oh, Vesso, Tom, Vesso, Cameo, Mayomianos or G, and you do so, Cacachitas, Bashadre. When la fama, you're going to appear, even when you do one, and you're at the when you go, my good friend for playing by my body cow, never matter what to put it. Oh, my, you are kind, but you were kind, one were kind, and the over kind, the super kind, two over kind. I mean, you were kind, if you were kind, and you are Tava kind, and they were kind. But remember, I had a low walk of $100 if you don't know something that you. I only know when for Bow or Kaku, Zango, when you put your Pata Jomaku. I forgot my volume on the Chimo for a food home and Berio Kuku Quator for Farmer Jogonio here, but when you toy, I'm on you to unquarrical many living of Toba Joe. Tis a woman or the Perica Jopatabe, I feel a joke for Vajo. Nye Jopata, if you are Jopata. I throw my bed down, have you found me? Then I Ajolo Jopata, Jopata, and I can remember your Miss Melbourne, you don't have a but it is Lulu Ajima, the body pro Roger, Valentina family, Valo Jonah. I was a pattern mayor. I think you know, La Fia. The Yamayo Amagas again, Jack Passing, the Santa Wiggy. Your Brahini may what you may own before you go for the free communicable, maybe the creature come up on Atabono when you're. May your tongue of Coscoa could be your money, a cosa of a preferred congregate. Tassing Yamos, Fusi, Jamcosa, Bracobra. You mean that your mamma, your body, but Toboya coffee, a could be a mensa, the ribbon, the pecuno, of Pohara, and Kutum in the fan. You're not the woman in the fan and play in your middle. Mayor, when you Celestine, you could be Katrina, could be a friend, and second of any Ben, I could be a Kutu and a fan and I'm a woman in fan and play. Mayor, me as from Elm, but teacher to could be a Cecilia when you cut the payments. Kutu and a fan and I'm the woman in fan and play in the woman. Mayor would not to you, but got to you, the way to you, Mayor. Okay, has a separate, but as well, Paprazo, Mayor, I think. Kuto wana fana obobo na bobo na fana nse dagbera di mo yo e ya me yo boko ada free so so fa ozilevu ayo na ka sara dagbera na fa ha ha na bo me yo ha ko me yo ha ko de no dagbera e ya me yo boko afacha ajoge alkondo ya pete ba ha ha ni na kuto na fana ni Bokor Christopher Voncujovi no hodule vapo ayo ndago ayo tabia na biche tule jita uno hodule gbe na dado ayo tabe Abraham Jimen le chama ayo tabe fiata Simon Kavi Zapao anani yake kutoka na farani Bokor na Bokor na farani o me yatre video Ibrahim de YouTube de beti ta sekis basi kubenu bo ijimele batu na nungwa ngene peshi na sa tu no koleto mancheta ki koleto na ha na tabu mbobu na beti na ha na dagbara na nungwa na nyangu na dora miawele mbobu nte nyimena mbobu na bakada ya bochi sakara kama chwa kwa be adogo okotokoli ko kuma kwa ndo tawo leto ofran tabani vivini kwa bisinka kofito da baku oto to akofi oto na kofi atrama yo kable yo eme yo ahla gede makpesi za ko tino ko chi ade mu no ko chi mele ko chi trongo ko chi chivi tahe mele khere ko pe za ye de za aguto de pe za ye tai de be za be ye nye wole pepe yo ra kekekekelo eme yo to we ahun gba to Vodu be to ra we mu za pa za le ku na to ko shi ni to ke oh me yo ko fito jamba ku cho tu ko fito ko fi atra me yo mi apeti kwa o unguga ke me yo tu anu ko me yo afana go no afan bo ma so ko ko to so le da pa bi me yo pali be nji ku me di wo ni di nji yo so me di mo ni nji abla nji aka me buda me di sa me di kama di tu ko me di tu la me di te me di chele di fu me so di che tu la klego vile ku kwa to ma ko do no to me yo ko ri na na ni ga Facebook live wo bo amole ni ro ko fele ya nye gbe ya no mu menam anye gbe ya no to menam na me se ni me ase na me gble ni na nye mi ya gbo vi ko ni me nyona tata ni manya o gbere o na mo we bete chere na kasi me ku che tu la we vi me ko wo vi me yo we are on now. And I'm saying my greetings to people on Clubhouse, Facebook, and also on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll start with the readings of the greetings from Facebook first. I think we have our sister Doris Amwa. Say, yay, I'm late. No, Doris, you are not late. Thank you very much for joining us. They were only playing the video now before we are starting, so you are never late. There we have Michael Greenfield. Please, where are you located? We are located in Accra, Ghana. Thank you. And then we have Doris Amwa again, and she's happy. Yeah, thank you, Doris Akbe. Thank you for joining us. Then we have Kuku Bogot. Today is Akbe, eh? Oh no, Kuku Maunya, it is not Akbe Day. We were just showing the videos of the things that we did during the week before today, Sunday. So that's why there were some rituals and Akbe songs were being sung. That's why it is not Akbe Day. It's a normal day. Then we have Doris Amwa again. Say hello, Toby. Good evening. Hello. And then we have Shamba Musa Muhammad. Say greetings, Papa. Hello, Shamba. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. We are very grateful. Then we have Kofi Wadie. Papa, may you live long. Thank you very much, Kofi. I'm very grateful for you joining us, and I can feel the spirit here. Thank you, Kofi. I'm very grateful. And then I think that's all that we have on Facebook. Okay, let's go on to YouTube. Here we have our brother Mario Young. Good evening, Daddy, and the AMT family. Greetings from India. Thank you very much, Mario. And how are you? How is your mother? How is your aunties and everybody? My regards to all that I recognize them and I pay respect to them. May the ancestors continue helping all of you. And then we have Tobe Jibeza Sesoka. Greetings and good day, Papa Bokor Enuledo. Tobe Jibeza Bokor Enuledo. You too, Enuledo. I hope everyone is well today at AMT. Yes, so far we are all well. Certain things happened yesterday, but then we were able to pass through it. Maybe if I remember it during the section, I will be able to bring your attentions to what had happened. Where one of our brothers, actually my son, John, he was parking his car, and some car from nowhere came and hit his car, and it went into the gutter. But luckily, nothing happened to him. Only the car was damaged, but he was fine, or he is fine. Thank you all. And, we are all fine at AMT. And now let's go on to Clubhouse. Anybody in Clubhouse that wanted to say anything? Is Senna already in Clubhouse? Who is officiating?
Hello,
Yes, who is?
Yes, hello, I'm here.
Okay. So we are here now, and let's go on. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Shamba, how are you?
I'm good, Papa. How are you?
I'm good. We're all fine here. We're just waiting for you. It's almost a few days more. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We are
Papa,
expecting
you. Someone got into an accident.
John. John's
Oh,
car was hit by another car. It's not like he got into an accident. He went to the market with his family and he was waiting in the car, and then some car from nowhere just came and hit his car, and the whole car fell into the gutter. But he was able to. He's alive. Nothing has happened to him. Only the car that damaged. But then they even fixed it before daybreak today, so it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, so let's go on. Some questions to come, and let me start to attend to them. But before any question, I want to use this opportunity to tell everybody that certain people have been coming onto our page. Very clever and stupid as they may look. When they come to our page, they start to talk, say, Jesus Christ is better, and the blood of Jesus Christ should face us. I am very sorry for them. I feel very sorry for Christians, honestly, because Christianity and religion in general is hypocrisy. And people pretend and are happy to be hypocrites than to be very truthful and straightforward. I chose this path because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I had been in Christianity and I have seen the bottom of it. I had been in other religions and I had seen the bottom of them. And I chose this path because this is a path of straightforwardness and a path of truth. So those of you who have been coming onto our pages talking about Jesus Christ, we had seen him, we known him, we've been around him, we had preached about him, we have spoken about Jesus Christ for many years, but we didn't see anything. All that we saw was hypocrisy Not that Jesus is a hypocrite, because Jesus was not a Christian in the first place. The people who form Christianity are hypocrites, and people who follow Christianity, 99.9% of them are hypocrites, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. That's why I chose this path. So I don't want people coming onto our page, our platform, coming to tell us what Jesus is. They are new to Jesus. I am not. I am not new to Jesus at all. I've joined the first evangelist that came into a charismatic church when it came into Ghana in the 1970s. I have been trained, I've been part of that when I was growing up. So Jesus is not new to me at all. So people should stop telling me Jesus is coming. If he's coming, wait for him. Who says you shouldn't wait? We are not telling people not to wait for him. You can wait for him. Me, I don't want to wait for anybody. I want to start saving myself before the Savior comes. And in case he does not come, at least I have saved myself. I'm not waiting for any Savior to come and save me. Those of you who are waiting for Savior to come and save you, please keep waiting. I am not waiting. At least I'll be doing some effort to save myself first. And if the Savior comes and see that I'm making an effort to save me, I believe that he will want to save me. But if he never comes, I'm already trying to save myself. Thank you, everybody. Yes, we have a for Martin Kobler in UK, my cousin. Saying, good day, my brother Hunoga. I wish you a very exciting and successful teaching. I'm preparing food for your nephews and nieces, and we'll join you later. Okay, for Martin Akpe, thank you for the listening. Tell them I send my regards to them all. Akpe Kaka, thank you. Yes, let's go. Is there anything there? And then we have Kofi Wad here. Yes. Hello, Papa. Please, I had several drinks, and I always see myself in a royal place underwater. I don't really understand this. Kofi Wad here. No, I'm not a Mamiwata priest, and I don't really deal into Mamiwata. So maybe it is Mamiwata things. I deal in spirits in general, but I'm not that fan of Mamiwata things, because for me personally, a lot of the people who talk about Mamiwata, it doesn't really work for me. Yeah, it does not work for me. So I'm not a Mamiwata fan. I'm not crazy about Mamiwata. Yes, I pray and I mention the name of Mamiwata in my prayers, but I'm not that kind of crazy fan person. That's why you don't see me wearing beads and all kind of things. I'm just simple as you see, and whatever I will teach, if it makes sense to you, follow it. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can go somewhere else and learn. Yeah. So I don't know what it means that you are inside a royal place under the water. I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Just like how we talk about heaven and hell. I don't know. I've never been under any water, because I don't think I can survive more than 5 minutes underwater without breathing. But then some people say they have stayed 7 years under the water. Maybe they are fish. Maybe their nose is the nose of a fish. I don't know. But for me, I'm just doing this one that my father taught me, and that's what I am doing. So I'm not Mamiwata priest, and I don't know. So I cannot understand your dream. I'm not going to be here pretending to be trying to explain to you what the dream is, that you are Mamiwata is visiting you, or you are visiting Mamiwata. I'm sorry. That's not the field that I am specialized in. Thank you very much, Kofi Wadier. Thank you for joining. And then we have Richard Ewuku. Hello, Papa. How are you today? Hello, Richard. I am very fine. And how are you too? And how is the family? My regards to all of them, and I wish you all the blessings of the ancestors and the spirits that I work with. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we have SKFOGLRDKFOD. I don't know how to call he made a very interesting, especially African Christianity. My brother, you are 101% right. Yes, African Christianity is just hypocrisy, and that is why I don't want to be part of it. And that some stupid people don't know that we had been in Christianity before we came back to our ancestral roots. And then for the not knowing, they come out with certain things as if they are the voice of the Christian. What do they know about Christianity? This world, there is no religion in this world that has massively killed people more than Christianity and Islam. So what are they talking? How many people did Voodoo kill? Anyway, thank you very much, SKFOGLR. And then we have Mario Young. We all are doing well by God's grace, Daddy. Trust the same with you and the family. We'll pass on your regards to family. Thank you very much, Mario. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. Yes, let's go on to Clubhouse now. Anybody that wants to put something up there?
Hello, if there's anybody here on Clubhouse that have a question for Papa, please feel free to ask him now.
Please, when you want to ask your question, please just mention your name. Let me know who is asking the question so that when I'm replying, I can know who I'll be directing my reply to, even though we are all listening. Yes, we have Kofi Wadie on Facebook saying, thank you for being sincere with me. Thank you, Kofi. We are always straight to the point. We are not having anything to hide, and we don't want to pretend. What we know is what we teach. What we don't know, we don't teach about it. Then we have Atishanti Philip Tete. Bokor, I've been nothing but unemployed since school. Nothing goes well for me. You must find out what is the reason. You must find out what is the reason. Because recently, there were some people who were contacting me, say, oh, their job is not working, they are not having job, they are not having this, they are not having that. And when I look at their WhatsApp pages, they have American numbers, they have UK numbers, and they put white people in their profile. And when I spoke with them, they were in Ghana here. But then I asked them, how did you get American telephone number? How did you get a UK telephone number? If you are having that kind of thing, you are very suspicious. Because you cannot live in Ghana and be having a UK number or having an American telephone number. It is very suspicious. Maybe your own ways are making you to have problems with your life. So, Atianti Philip, you should find out what is happening to you, the reason why you cannot get a job. And if you cannot get a job, why won't you create one for yourself? There's so much opportunities here in Ghana that people can create jobs for themselves, but everybody is waiting for the government to give jobs, some private companies to give jobs. There's so much money in this country. You can create job for yourself. You can easily create job for yourself, but people are always waiting for someone to give them job. Okay, so you find out what is going on in your life by consulting a spiritualist or anybody who knows how to look deep into the future and the past. Thank you very much, Philip. Yes, then we have Sadiq Nate Marber. Greetings, Papa. Hello, Sadiq. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. And then we have Atianti Philip Tete. I know where it is. The temple is at Sphinx Coast. I want your permission to come over Yes, you can come over, but if you are coming to do consultation, you need to book an appointment. But if you want to join us in our today's program, you can come. We are here. Thank you, Philip. And then we have Gabriel Jani. Papa, can you please speak on third eye benefits? Gabriel, what do you mean by third eye benefit? What do you know about third eye before you want to know what the benefits of the third eye is? Can you, Gabriel Jan, can you write me something under why you want to know the benefits of the third eye or the third eye benefits? What do you know about third eye? Tell me what third eye is, then I will try to explain to you what the benefits may be. Thank you. Okay, people on Clubhouse, do you have anything or everybody just listening? Any suggestions from there?
Papa, I have a question about Papa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Sana Voncujovi.
Yeah, Sana, thank you.
Papa, I wanted to ask about, this is more about a personal question about your own experience being a Christian. At what age will you say you are a Christian? At what age you stop being a Christian? And what was that experience like?
Okay. I was born into Christianity, so I won't say that it is at this age or that age when I became a Christian. Because my mom was a Catholic, so maybe long before she even met my father. So maybe when I was in my mother's womb, I was already a Christian. She probably might have been going to church and pray so that it can have a safe delivery, and if she has got any challenges, she probably might have been going to the priests and other people to pray. So there is no time that I can tell that this was when I became a Christian. We were born into Christianity because my father is a member of the church in my village, the Presbyterian church in my village, and my father was was among the people who contributed money and his knowledge and wisdom into building the church. So we were born on the Christian campus or compound or mission compound where I grew up at, even though in reality my mother gave birth to me in another town, but they brought me back to my father, so that's where I grew up. So I've always been a Christian until I would say at the age of 12 years I started challenging myself and also challenging some of the things that people were doing. I was too young to understand everything, but the way, the behavior of people, that hypocritical thing was in the Presbyterian church. And I remember my father's junior sister. My father and my auntie were the only two children that their mother and their father gave birth to, from one mother, one father. So my auntie was married to a family which is not directly from the village that we came from. But then there was a traditional local drum in Agbaja, as it is called in Ewe, where they play the drum and people move the back, they dance with the hands and like a duck. So I would say she went and attended one of those dancing occasions, I would say, or events. And then immediately at the church, she was summoned why should she go and be dancing at a traditional place or to do a traditional dance. So she was demoted because she was a senior presbyter at that time. She was ordained as a senior presbyter, but because she went and danced a local dance, immediately she was demoted to a junior. And from there, I was kind of taken aback, and I was wondering, what did she do wrong by dancing our dance? No, I was still young, so I didn't understand everything. But then from there, I started revolting against the system. So at the age of 12 years, my father, as I said many times, my father had many wives. And we, the children, we don't say, this is my mother, that is not my mother. We point to all of them as our mothers, and I could go to any mother and eat food. I could go to any mother and help her do her chores. Not that she didn't have her children, but once I am in the house, I also contribute my small quota by helping my other siblings. So one of my father's wives was also a very staunch Christian, and they were in the ARS, the Apostolic Revelation Society, which was actually an Ewe offshoot of Ewe group, which became a Christianity. So she saw the desire that was in me to know about God. So she used to teach me stories in the Bible and let me read the Bible, and then she would explain things to me. And it got to a point I felt that that also wasn't enough for me. So I left the Presbyterian church and then I joined the Seventh-day Adventist church, because somewhere along the way the Seventh-day Adventist church came to our village, and they were saying that any church, any Christian group that was going to church on Sundays is against God's rule or God's will, because the Sabbath was supposed to be a Saturday, and anybody who has changed it to Sunday is against Jesus Christ, is against God. So being a child, I believed them, and then I joined them. I was baptized, and then I started going to the Seventh-day Adventist church. Then I realized that the Seventh-day Adventist church, the very top people do not eat meat. They are vegetarians. Or they were, I don't know now. Because I moved away from my father's house, and I was staying with the pastor. And I'll come back and sleep at home, but every day when I go, I wake up after school, I go to the pastor's house to help clean the house and wash place for the wife and all these things, so that I can get closer to God. Because all that I wanted is I wanted to get closer to God. And then I realized that the Seventh-day Adventist people were not eating meat. But then in other churches, we were eating meat. I didn't have any problem with eating meat. And then this group doesn't eat meat. So I asked the pastor, I was quite young, and I asked the pastor, why doesn't he eat meat? So no, he himself, he just didn't want to eat meat. But then it was a way he didn't want to discourage me from eating meat, so he said it that way, because they don't force you, but then with time you grow up with it. Then after some time there too, I didn't really feel that, but they are always talking about the 666, that is the devil. I couldn't, and then they pointed out to the Catholic Church being the Pope wearing the crown of 666, and it is evil and all kind of things. They're attacking each other. And I mean, as a young man trying to see God or trying to know God or get closer to God, here we have one church attacking another. Or they are all talking about Jesus Christ or talking about Christ as an entity, yet still each one are attacking the other with their beliefs and philosophy. So I didn't like that. Then not quite long, in the 70s, around 1973, 74, I think 1973, then there is this group that came called Gospel Revival Church, or Gospel Revival Ministry. And at that time it was brought from the US, and they brought some white people. They came and set up a whole camp. They were doing a poultry farm, and then they were also at the same time having a church and all this things. So they were also doing their crusade. And then in this church, people were allowed to play drum and dance. Because in the Presbyterian church, only in the church choir, they don't even dance. They just move from one side to another, and that's the song. They sing song and they go move from one side to another. And here in a church that people can play drum and people are praising God and dancing. It's going boom, 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 boom. All this. And it was, when we were young, we like to go to club or disco, or we listen when a dance band is coming. So now, say if you are doing those things, you can't go to heaven, you go to hell. So now, at least we can dance in the church and be happy. So I joined them. So I was staying with the, I joined them. So it was more fun than the other ones. So at least you go here, they sing song, people will be in line, we make a circle, then dance. Those days there was no handkerchief. Handkerchief was not introduced like today's charismatic churches where they say handkerchief, handkerchief, handkerchief. Before there wasn't anything. Handkerchief was only used in Akbese, which is our local dance. Then they use the handkerchief. But in the church, nobody was using handkerchief those days. So I grew up from there and I became very serious, and the American white people who were the head of the church at that time, I was going to them in their homes and who were studying Bible and all this. What I wanted to be an evangelist so that I could also preach the gospel, just like how they were doing it. And I could see they were living good life, They eat good food. They live in fully air-conditioned rooms, and they had cars and motorbikes. And as a young man, if I become an evangelist one day, maybe I will also be having these things and enjoy it. So I joined them, and I was being trained somehow, but I was still going to school. But it got to a point, and I couldn't understand anything. One day, our pastor, called Pastor Asiam, Samuel Asiam, his brother, his senior brother, was the one who brought the church from the U.S. to our village, or to the Volta region, the first charismatic churches in the Volta region. But earlier before these charismatic churches, we have gotten something we call the spiritual churches. They were there a long time alongside the main churches like Catholic, Presbyterian, Anglican, and AME Zion Church, and then the Methodist Church. There was these small churches called spiritual churches, like what did they call it? Aladura, and then Mosama Disco Cristo Church, and then I think there's another one. I think they were in the group of the ARS, yeah. So those churches were called spiritual churches. They were not called charismatic, and they were not the main thing. So I had also been going to those churches when my sisters were members and my brothers were members. So I used to join them to go. Also there in those churches, they play drum and they dance. And they talk about spirits, Michael, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and all kind of archangels. And sometimes people will wear yellow and put the red over it, or wear white and put blue, and all kind, depending on the archangel that they are trying to invoke that day. Then they wear the color of that archangel. I've been around for a long time in Christianity. I'm not new at all. So when I was joined the Gospel Revival Ministry, Pastor Asiam, Samuel Asiam, was the head in our village. The senior brother was the national head. So one time we went to church. We used to go to church at dawn. From 4 a.m. we go to church, and by 5:30 we close, and I come back home, get the dress up, and then go to school. So I had been doing all this, and so I know about this. And sometimes we go to convention for days, and people will teach. Then our pastor one day said that there was a very special song that we used to sing in the church those days, which was my favorite too. Honestly, it was my favorite. Which means they put the devil into a hot oil. The devil was placed into a hot oil, and he was fried like a fried fish. That was the song. Ola bon sounda mi me yo toe kana mi totoe. Ola bon sounda mi me o toe kana mi totoe. O toelo, o toelo, o toe kana mi totoe. Means they put the devil inside the hot oil and they fried him like a fried fish. So that song was our favorite, and actually when they played that song, everybody would join the circle and then dancing and jubilating that we are happy that the devil had been fried like a fried fish. So that was there. Then one morning at dawn, when we went to the early morning church, then our pastor said that we will not sing that song from that day onwards, and that he was doing meditation and he saw the devil dancing the same song and dancing like how we were dancing at the church. The devil himself was dancing onto that music. So from henceforth, we would not be singing that song at the church. So that song was banned from being sung at the church. So I got back home, I think whether it was that very day, but later during that week, I think I asked my father, what is meditation? Then he asked me, where did I hear the word from? And so from the church. The pastor said he was doing meditation. Then why is it that we, the church members, we were not taught meditation? But we are praying, but the pastor said he wasn't praying, but he was doing meditation. You know, like as a child, I didn't hear these words before. I was too young to know this thing. So my father didn't really explain deep. He just gave me a book on yoga. That book was written by one Paul Breton. It's a very paperback book, very small book. So in that book, I started reading about what meditation is all about. And then part of the book was saying when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I told myself that I am ready, but where is my teacher to teach me meditation? So I decided to do a 7 days dry fasting. So I fasted for 7 days. I will only drink water and maybe in the evenings, or when I feel weak, I just take shower. Anytime I feel weak, I just take shower and I get my energy back. So after this 7 day, I was just in my room with myself and my brother were given a room. My junior brother, who is now today the electoral commissioner of one part of region of Ghana. So I just heard a voice telling me, go to yoga, go to yoga, go to yoga. But where that voice was coming from, I couldn't tell. So now, because the yoga lessons or the explanation in the Paul Breton's book talks about yoga, where in yoga you learn meditation and then you concentrate on thinking about the divine and they'll give you whatever. But I didn't have any teacher. So when they say go to yoga, go to yoga, now I have decided that I'm not going to go to church, I'm going to go to yoga. But where is the yoga? Who is going to teach me? I don't even know the word. It's my first time of hearing that word when I read the book. So I did not know what yoga was. But God's so good and my destiny being active. I was just walking in town. Then I saw a poster. But prior to that, even when I was in Christianity, I could predict things and they do happen. My mind was very, very strong. My mind was very, very active. So when I say something will happen, it did happen in those days. And I could tell when rain is going to fall. And these things were just like playing with me. I didn't know what they were, but I could predict things and they do come about. So when I go to yoga and I heard this voice, and I was just walking in town, and then I saw a poster that there will be a yoga teacher coming to my village to come and teach meditation. Wow. It was just like, for me, it was because of me, it was coming, because I was ready and my teacher was coming. So the day that the man came, was an American white guy, very slim guy, wearing orange with a turban and everything on his head. And the meeting was held at my former middle school. So I went there and then I listened, and then immediately that day I wanted to be initiated. Then I was I was initiated by Dada Girish. His name is Dada Girish Brahmachari, Acharya Girish Brahmachari. He was, the time I was in Japan, he was in Taiwan. I had not really directly had contact with him, but I met people who knew him very well. But now he too is no more in the yoga. He stopped being a member of the yoga group that he initiated me into. So I had always been in Christianity. So by the time I was about 16 years, I think that was when this yoga thing started coming. And I joined the Ananda Marga Pracharaka Sangha, which is AMPS, Ananda Marga Pracharaka Sangha, AMPS, which I had joined at the time. And then I started doing meditation and also concentrating. And I became the first African to be initiated into priesthood in the Ananda Marga as a junior priest called LFT, local full-timer. At the age of 18, I was already a local full-timer. And I was sent from Ghana to Nigeria to take over the Ananda Marga, what do you call it, the Jagriti. It's called Jagriti, means a spiritual center in Sanskrit. So I was one in charge of the Lagos Jagriti for some time, and then I used that opportunity to also do a crash course in teacher training. Then eventually I was taken into the Nigerian teaching system, where I became a teacher. And I was doing the yoga at the same time. I was also teaching in classroom. So this is where Christianity brought me from, and I ended it up by joining the Ananda Marga Yoga Society. So Sena, that's my there's so much deeper things in it.
Thank you,
I will just leave it here, and then maybe another time I can share more of that with you.
Thank you very much, Papa. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I think everybody who has been listening is appreciating all the details that you've shared about your journey long time ago in Christianity, and your own confusions and your own struggles to know the unknown and to know the divine for yourself, and the decisions that you took for yourself, but that have impacted all of us, including your children like myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Sena. Yes, I think we have.
So if you have any other questions on Clubhouse, please go ahead. Or if not, Papa, you can take any other questions too.
Hi, I have a question. My name is Fofo Gavoa.
Hello, Fofo, Leke.
Brokume follow.
Hey, Tawiri.
And the people I will do.
No, Baba Dogo, because me and Dogo. We will meet because we are discussing this going to Germany next year. I don't know whether he told you.
He told me.
Yeah, we will be going.
He told me about it.
Yeah, we'll be going to Germany as a team, about 3 professors from Legon. And yeah, so I will be joining the professors, and I will go to Germany to do some voodoo work. So,
okay.
Amina.
Pardon?
Amina.
Pardon me?
Your sister, Amina. Is it Amina?
Yeah, she's good. She's in Canada.
Okay. Gabwa, Thank you. Okay, let the question come.
Yeah, so I'm curious, in Vodun practice, is there a form of meditation?
No.
The topic of meditation came up.
Okay, it's a very good question. In African traditional spirituality, there's nothing called a meditation. There is nothing called meditation at all. You see, a lot of people are mixing up Asian teachings with African teachings, and then they are not actually differentiating them and say, oh, this is coming from Asia, and this is our own, and this is where you can merge them if you know. No, people don't know, and people just mixing it, and people will tell you that they are doing Kemetic yoga, and they are doing African traditional meditation. There's nothing called meditation in our language. In our traditional practices, there's nothing like meditation. We, on the other hand, are dealing with nature directly by approaching nature and try to live in harmony with it. It is not sitting down, crossing your leg. That's why when I see people talking that they are doing African spirituality, then they cross their leg. And then Africans don't cross their leg and start to pray. It's only in Islam where people have been crossing leg and sit on mat. It is not in our tradition. If you see our people sitting on the ground and cross their leg, it is not because of spirituality, that's why, or praying to God, that's why they cross their leg. Maybe they are just using that position to sit down. And you know, there are some part, like when you go into the Afar initiation and all this, and you sit on mat, but you are not even supposed to cross your leg. You stretch your leg. In Afar, you stretch your leg. You don't cross it. Because even crossing it is regarded as you are blocking some energies from coming through you. So you can't cross your legs. That's why when we are even doing reading, sometimes we tell people not to cross their legs. So in our tradition, we don't have anything called meditation or crossing of leg or whatsoever. We deal with nature as we see it, and it responds to us as we attack it or we face it. There is no meditation in African traditional spirituality, at least for Ewe Vodu and West African Ewe Vodu, there is no meditation in it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Okay, we have Alfred Abeku Bini. Say good day, Papa, on Facebook. Thank you very much, Abeku. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have Kukubo, God knows, wise one. If someone is having a chila or any protective spirit, we don't call it chila. It's only the Anglo people call it chila. We will call it tila. Tila. There is no S in between the I and the T. They call it tila. And the word is actually coming from the word talisman. So it's not chila, it's tila. So if you say chila, then the meaning will become different in my Evedome language. It's tila, T-I-L-A. It's not chila. But then I understood what you are trying to ask. A wise one, if someone is having a chila or any protective spirit that demands a sacrifice, how often will the person feed it? Okay, let me take that part of the question first. I believe very strongly a talisman is usually made, or tila is made for you by somebody, or maybe somebody made it and you bought it. Another name for talisman is, or tila, is amulet, because it protects you. So whoever make that talisman or tila for you might have told you certain rules and regulations concerning the protective amulet. And that person should also be able to tell you what you should feed the talisman with and what you shouldn't feed the talisman with, how to wear it, when to wear it, and when any other energy crosses it, what you should do to purify it. So wherever you got that tiller or talisman or chiller as you call it from, I think that is the best source to give you the answer how many times you have to sacrifice or do sacrifice for it. When I make a talisman for you, I will tell you what to do with it, when to wear it, how to wear it, when to feed it, and when not to feed it. So with your case, I was not the one who made the talisman for you, so I cannot tell you that this is how you can feed it or how many times you have to feed it. I cannot, honestly speaking. I'm not that kind of teacher who just jump into other people's pockets or jump into other people's mouth and try to talk on their behalf when I don't know what I am saying. Everybody who creates a talisman or killer must be able to explain to whoever he is giving the talisman to the rules and the regulations, the taboos, when the talisman should be worn and when it should not be worn, and it should, in case someone hands touch the talisman when it is not supposed to touch, then things to do to purify the talisman so that the talisman can still be active. So at that part, I cannot tell you how many times you are supposed to feed it, and I don't know what is even the talisman about, whether it is a warrior talisman, it is only for protection, it is against gun, it is against a knife or a spear. I cannot tell. So I cannot tell you what, when, and how many times to feed it. So what happens if the person fails to do the sacrifice? This one is a general thing. If they tell you a rule and you don't do it, then you don't expect that the thing to work for you. If you have a gun, let me use gun as a scenario, and they advise you that before you go to fight with gun, make sure your gun is very well free. You have to oil it so that you can easily hold the trigger, and then you can trigger and then shoot out. And then you must also make sure that you have a bullet in it so that when you shoot, it can come out. If these things were told you when the gun was sold to you and you refuse to follow those rules, what do you expect the gun to do? You can shoot the gun and nothing will come out of it, and it may even lock. Or they may even tell you that you open the safety cap when you want to shoot it, but when you are not going to shoot, keep it in the safety cap. So if you did not follow the rules by lifting the safety cap so that the gun can shoot, how do you expect the gun to work? So when they give you a rules and regulation on something and you don't follow, the only thing I can tell you is that the thing will not work the way you wanted it to work. You may have it, you may possess it, but it will not work the way you would want it to work for you. So you say we hear these things from people, but we are not sure. We ask to know the truth so that others will not mislead us. Yeah, but Kukubo, the point is that people may not mislead you. Even if I tell you, because I have not made a talisman for you, I cannot tell you about the talisman that was made for somebody. Because every shrine, every spiritual place, every temple has gotten their own rules and regulations. Every spirit has got their own rules and regulations. One rule does not apply to them all. So if I am making something for you, I will tell you how to handle it. And if someone else is making something for you, the person will give you the rules and regulations, the taboos and the do's and the don'ts. So when you ask this question as a general thing, then it is very difficult to give you a general answer or give you a specific answer. I can only say generally that this is what it is. If you don't take care of what rules and regulations that are given to you, don't expect it to work for you the way you want. Everything in life is the same. You have a computer, you want to go into the computer, they will tell you to put your password, and they will put, if you don't put those things and make it to activate the computer can be just something in front of you and you cannot use it. So in life, in general, whatever they give you rules about, try to follow those rules and regulations, and then you will be able to succeed in what you want to use the thing for. But without it, don't expect that you can use it. Thank you very much, Kukubo. Yes, let's go up. And then we have Godfred Akabu saying, I want to know about cellular destiny and benefits. Okay, Godfred, essay is your destiny. And for people, if you want your destiny to be set up for you, there are rules and regulations, there are things that are needed to be used to do the rituals for you to set up your essay, as it is called, selili, as it is called in Ewe, or setting up of essay in English. So the first thing you will do is that you must consult whoever is going to set up the essay for you, for the person to tell you what things they need to use in setting up the essay or to set up your destiny. And also the person will tell you the things you should do before the destiny is set up for you. Everybody has their own way, but then I spoke about something recently. In reality, essay should be set up by Bokors and Hunos. It is not the work of Amegashi and Manu Atasi and all these people to be setting up essay for people, but that's what Togbe Agamalete Gabligodo, they were saying that now the Amegashi and all these people, they have taken up the work of setting up essay for people. But for us at our shrine, I am the one who set up essay for my children and other people just after the old man taught me how to set up essay. He set up mine for me, and he taught me how to set up my essay for people. And I have been doing that for some time now. But I am not a Megashi, and I am not a Manu Atasi. I am a Huno, and I'm a Boko. And I think I'm just in the right place to do what I know. So thank you very much. If you want your essay to be set up, approach the people that you know that they do essay, and they will tell you how they do their work. Thank you very much, Godfred Akabu. Yes. And then we have Victor K. Abochukwu. Hello, Tommy. How are you? Greetings, Papa. Why are initiates of red oil deities are told not to consume red oil? Okay. He said Amijefa. That's what you are trying to say. Amijefa. Afa has so many branches. There is Anagofa. There is Jisa, which is mostly referred to as Amijefa. And even in some Anagofa also they use Amije, or they use red palm oil. They use red oil in Jisa as well, and even in cut that thing off. What are you? They use palm oil, red palm oil, in doing some what do you call it, Anagofa and Jisa. But each teacher will tell you the reason why you shouldn't eat palm oil. So when you are ready to get initiated, ask your teacher why they do not eat palm oil, or why they should not eat palm oil. I think your teacher will be the best person when you are ready for initiation into Afa, the one that you are going to initiate to. If it is a Amije or a red oil, ask them why they do not eat, or why they advise people not to eat. I'm not here to tell you the secrets of how initiation takes place and the secrets of initiation. Anytime you are ready to go and get initiation, ask your teacher why certain things are not supposed to be done. I'm not here to be telling secrets of how people initiate and why people do not initiate. It is not my part to do. I'm sorry. Yes, and we have Gabriel Janke. Okay, so I read in one of your posts on the African Magic Temple page about the third eye. I read online that it was a mystical eye that enables you to see beyond the physical and your future. How true is that? Of course, if they say third eye, do you see anybody having 3 eyes when they are walking around? Gabriel, I believe you have never seen anybody having 3 eyes or 4 eyes when they are walking around. So when they say third eye in spirituality, they are referring to the extrasensory perceptive abilities of an individual. Means they can see beyond normal human 2 eyes. They can see without having an eye. They can know without reading. It will just occur, and that is called the third eye. So the third eye is a spiritual eye, and people who develop it are able to see beyond the five fundamental sensory organs. So this is all that the third eye is all about. Yes, move the thing, move the cursor. Okay, we have allergic issue through Machinkata. Okay, good afternoon. I'm gifted. How would I do to speak with the spirit? When you are gifted, how do you have to ask me again how you would do how to speak with the spirit? If you are already gifted. I mean, let's be very serious and very realistic here. You are saying you have been gifted. And if you are gifted, why do you ask me how you can speak with the spirit? Let's be very realistic here. You are gifted. So you should be gifted to be able to speak with the spirit. Let's go on. Then we have Mike Thomas. Hello, Togbe. How does negative thought and negative mindset affect one spiritually? If you yourself, you are having negative thoughts about yourself, of course it will affect you, because the whole thing of spirituality is based on the power of the mind. You know, the mind is not a physical thing. The brain is, but the mind dwells in the brain. So when you are having a negativity in your thoughts and in your actions, definitely your mind will be affected, because the wavelengths that the wavelengths or the frequency of the waves of your mind, if you are having negativity in them, they will disturb the waves, so they can neither be straight to achieve what you want to achieve, or cannot go towards the target that you want your brain to go to. So you may definitely be affected if you are having negative minds, because negativity means it is not in equilibrium with the flow or the waves, there's the frequency that your brain waves are going on. So you need to be positive in order to achieve things you want to achieve. So spiritually, if you are having negative mind, or even people's negative thoughts towards you, sometimes affect you, and that's what we call witchcraft. When people's negative thoughts are disturbing your wavelength or your frequency, it is called witchcraft in our tradition. Thank you, Mike Thomas. Yes. Then we have Dr. Henry Hansen here. Good morning, Papa. Shaolin Master. Henry, thank you. Yes, I'm very strict like a Shaolin Master. And then it's a good morning, Papa, you're Shaolin Master. Papa, when someone dreamed that someone is dead or sick, what does it mean? Okay, in some cultures, they say when you dream that somebody is dead, you are trying to buy life, extra life for such a person. That's what is said generally in Ewe. But each and every one of us have got a mind and a mental power, and sometimes the power of our mind comes out in our dreams. So if you study yourself and you know that whenever you dream and the dream comes true or comes onto the physical plane, then what actually you are doing is that your conscious mind is able to capture information from the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind, and is able to bring it onto the conscious mind to relate. So the things that happen in the past and going to happen in the future are all stored up in the subconscious mind and in the unconscious mind. So if you are able to capture those things and you are able to bring it down on the physical plane, sometimes you have gotten a secret, because the secret of nature has been revealed to you. And that is exactly what the third eye, or the extra sensory, or the sixth sense, as people call it, the sixth sense, as people call it does. Means it's able to go into the subconscious mind and be able to draw information and bring onto the conscious plane and translate it for people to hear or to understand. So when you are having a dream that someone is dead or sick, you must also know about your own dream, the trend of your dreams as you know yourself. Do you dream and the dreams are just a dream that nothing happens? Or do you dream that the dreams come true when you say it and it comes true? Or if you keep it to yourself and you don't say anything, does it come onto the physical plane? These are the things you have to study about yourself, and then you will get to know whether the dream that you are having is going to be real or is going to be the opposite. So I cannot say that, because generally they say that when you dream about somebody dying means you bought a life for the person, or you dream about somebody sick, that means you bought a health for the person. Is the same in everybody's case. It is a case-by-case basis. Some people have a very strong mental energy that whatever they are able to capture in a dream becomes a reality on the physical plane. So it is depending on who is dreaming and how the person's dream is often that it appears on the physical plane. So let's say it is by case basis. Yes, and then we have Michael Greenfield again at the bottom. Michael, is there talisman for favor? There may be. There may be talisman for favor. There is possibility. I don't have that one anyway. Then we have Owura. Please, when are we getting online reading of what is ahead of us? Please, when are we getting online reading of what is ahead of us? Some of us are outside Ghana. Oh, Owura. When you call that you want a reading to be done for you, we do it online. Whether you are in Ghana or you are outside Ghana. If you are in Ghana and physically you cannot come to the shrine at the African Magic Temple to get a reading done, we do it online. Either through Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or through telephone, depending on the mode that you choose to do your reading through. So, but a reading is not a general reading. Everybody has their own individual self. So if you want to know about yourself, you ask for a reading, and then we will give you the direction. When you are outside and you are doing a reading we are going to do a reading from African Magic Temple to you. It is either we take $150 for a reading or $165 for a reading, depending on your mode of transfer of money. If you are going to transfer money to us, and there will be charges that will come along with the transfer, sometimes the transferring companies charge certain amount. And if it is going to be on us, then you may be paying $165, depending on what charges are. But if you are going to be able to bear the charges and send us our $150 directly, then that's what you send to us. We will call you on a WhatsApp or on telephone or Facebook Messenger, depending on what you want. And then we will discuss with you, and you will speak your mind, your desire, your challenges on the money, and then we will give that money to the oracle and then do the reading for you. And after the oracle comes back, we will call you and we will relate every information that the oracle gave us to you. And then also we will tell you what you should do to overcome the challenges that you are facing. So, Owura, we have been doing this for ages now. It's not new. Maybe you are new to us. That's why you think that we have not been doing that. We do online readings all the time. Thank you very much for the question. And then we have our sister Auntie Florence in Europe saying, good afternoon. How are you all doing? Yes, Auntie Florence, we are all doing well. And I think recently we have not been in touch that very much. I know the situation that you are in. And I'm praying that things will change and make it easier for all of us. My regards to your whole family. And then thank you very much for joining the conversation today. Then we have Lizzie Ashokaya, our sister in the UK, sending you and your family love. Thank you very much, Lizzie, and the same team from us to you. And how is my little giant? My regards to him and to the sisters. Thank you very much, Lizzie. Thank you for joining us. And then we have Kukubo, God knows again, wise one. You refer to your village and village and village. Which village do you come from? Kukubo, I am from Hohwe in the Volta region. My father is from Hohwe, and my mother is from Pando. So I am from Volta region, Ewe Vodu, Central Ewe, Hohwe, and Pando. That's where I come from. Yes, and then we have Kukubo again and saying again, let's see. Papa, I heard you completed EP Senior High School, Hohwe. And then why were you again asking me which village I come from? Yeah? You are asking me where I come from. Now you are saying you heard that I completed EP Senior High School. Hohwe. It's not called, the time I completed, it's not called EP Senior High School. It's called EP Secondary School. It's called Hohwe EP Secondary School. It was not called Hohwe. It was not called EP Senior High School. It was called EP Hohwe EP Secondary School. That's how it was called. And I had been in Hohwe this year. Were we not in Hohwe this year? We were in Hohwe in June. Huh? Was it not in June? Huh? We went to Hohwe during May and early June. Is it not? We were in Hohwe May and early June. We even did a live session streaming from Evely Waterfalls. So I go there all the time. So anytime that, if you want to see me in Hohwe, when I am coming to Hohwe, you will know. If you go to our house, I have a house in Hohwe, my own house in Hohwe. So you can find out later. I will show you where the house is, and you can ask them when I will be coming. I have a shrine also in Hawaii. I have Tobe Jopata shrine in Hawaii. So it's my own home. So I go from time to time. Yeah, but I work at Accra and I have houses in Accra. So I live in Accra. My main shrine is in Accra. So I'm based in Accra here, but I am from Hawaii and Bando. Then we have a Richard Awuku again. Hello, Papa. What of you had a dream? What about if you have a dream whereby someone you know is injured? After some time, maggots started to come out of the injured part. What that means? Richard, I will not be able to know. Like I said earlier in Dr. Henry Hansen's decision, that it depends on the dreams that the dreamer, the person who is having the dream, how true and how real that person's dreams come on the physical plane. There are certain people, they dream and the dream does not mean anything. But then there are certain people also, when they dream, the dreams come onto the physical plane to play out. So definitely, such people, when they have a dream, then they tell you, you have to immediately start to do something about it. So it depends who is the dreamer, who was dreaming the dream. And that person should be able to observe themselves and find out whether their dreams come true or their dreams are just dreams. And it is that which will form your mind to say that, oh, this dream is a dangerous dream, or this dream is not a real dream. But I will teach you, everybody, one thing today. When you wake up, when you had a dream and it's a nightmare or a bad dream, as our people will call it, when you wake up in the morning, do not speak to anyone. Go straight to the toilet bowl. If you are in the village and there's a pit toilet, go there. If you are in a city where you are using water closet, or you are using what is the name of that one? A spit toilet, KVIP. Yeah, you are using KVIP toilet. Go to the toilet. Tell the dream to the toilet, and tell the toilet that since the toilet is the one that takes all the bad things away from us, this bad dream that you have had, you do not know whether this dream is real, is good or bad dream. But if it is a bad dream, since the toilet is the one who takes all our dirty things and our bad things, it should take the dream away, and so that it should never appear on the physical plane. You do that before you begin to speak to human beings. But unfortunately, if you speak to people and you start telling people about the dream without doing this thing that I've just told you, there is a possibility that if your dreams are dreams that come true, then that dream is going to manifest on the physical plane. But by telling the dream to the toilet, or the pit toilet, or the water session, you have kind of neutralized the power that is in the force that is in the dream. So you will be able to, even if it will happen, it will not be real. So that's it, Richard. That's what I can say. And then we have Telly, Marie Telly. Look at how we say we are on your phone. Okay, we have Telly, Marie Telly. Good afternoon, Baba. Hope you and your family are doing well. Yes, Telly, we are. And how are you too? Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you are fine. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. And then we have Mike Thomas. Tell me, does Voodoo protect the mind from the negative thoughts with talisman, joker, or mental exercise? I don't really understand the question, but I'll try to understand. You say, Togbe, does Voodoo protect the mind from negative thought? No, Voodoo cannot protect your mind from negative thought. Your thoughts are your thoughts. And Voodoo with talisman, joker, no, it does not protect your mind, because if you don't use your mind to think, how can your Voodoo or joker work for you? Because even the joker, you have to repeat words. And is it not the mind that constructs the words that you are going to say? It's the mind that constructs the words that you are going to come out of your mind or your mouth. So how can your mind protect you from negative thought? Or Voodoo protect you from negative thoughts with talisman? No, Voodoo cannot protect you from negative thought. It's you yourself who has to do your best to construct positive thoughts towards yourself. Voodoo is not going to protect you from negative thoughts. No, it's not true. What is the time? The goats are crying. What is the time? Is it 3?
Yes.
It's not 3:30. 3:13. So they are hungry. Somebody should call Jones so they can feed them. They can feed the goats. Sayram, go up a little bit. Have I answered? Okay. So Mike Thomas, Voodoo cannot protect you from negative thought. It is you who have to construct your thought. Don't you know that a lot of people who have Voodoo have a lot of negative mind? That's why they are using the Voodoo to attack people. So how can Voodoo protect you from negative thoughts when some people are only specialized in using the negativity to attack their fellow human beings? So it cannot. However, what Voodoo can do with your mind is it can build your mind to be stronger and you can now be able to use it positively. Okay, we have Doris Amwa. Togwe, please. When you pray to your ancestors and you get no response, what does that mean? Should I take it as they are not with me? How long have you started praying to your ancestors, and before you expect that once you pray one day they should answer you? How many years have you not prayed to them? How many years have you been away from their connection? You know, when you plant a corn today, no matter how hungry you are, the corn will never grow that very day for you to eat. Keep this in mind. In spirituality, whether Asian, Arabic, African, or Ewe traditional spirituality, patience is very, very, very crucial. You cannot pray to your ancestors today and say, oh, my ancestors, I need this thing, and then you expect that the very day you pray, by the following day, they can answer you. You had been very far away from them, and it will take some time for you to really connect with them. But keep doing it, and the more you continue doing it, the more closer you get to them. But don't expect that one day you just pray to them and the following day they will answer you. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Your network connection with them is not yet connected. Just like when you are using the internet. There are certain places when you try to make a call or get onto the net, you cannot, because you are not, there is no connection there that can bring you to connect your computer or your phone, and the Wi-Fi is not connected. It may be on, but where you are not closer to it to connect. So it is in ancestral practice. You cannot just start praying to your ancestors within a few days or within a month or two, and then you expect them to be answering you, and if they don't answer you, that means they are not with you. No, it's not so. Until you establish that connection with them, you will not be able to get their response very easily. And sometimes, if you do a reading, and if your ancestors wanted you to connect with them quickly, they will tell you the rituals that should be done for you to encourage them to get connected to you. That's why sometimes reading is very important. Mind you, our traditional ancestral prayers are not like Christian prayers. People who have been praying to Jesus Christ for how many years, what have they got? Nothing. But nobody complains about that, whether Jesus is with them or not, because we are all made to believe that Jesus is God and He is our Father. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't look like Him. At least the pictures that they have been presenting to us for the past 2,000, 3,000 years, I don't look like that picture. So, but then if He does not answer me, I just take it that, oh, God is working on my demand. And some people even will go to the essence of, I receive it, even though they have not received anything. But they have received and received and received, and yet still they are still poor like everybody else. So when you are praying to your ancestors, try to continue doing it until you get that connection. Because if there's no connection between you and the ancestors, I'm very sorry, they will not be hearing you. But how do you make them to hear you? By continuing trying to change position. When I say, when you are trying to get the connection to your phone, if it's not good, you move a little bit here, you move a little bit there until the network will be connected. So for your ancestors, you have to continue doing it until. And when around turn around, sometimes you have to do a reading to find out what you should you do to connect with your ancestors. And then if the ancestors wanted you to connect with them very quickly, they will tell you or give you direction what to do so that you can connect with them. Some of this is to feeding of the ancestors by giving them food and energizing them and prompting them and also pushing them, boosting them so that they can know that you are on their ancestral line. Even if they know, if you have not been calling them for ages, don't expect that your call of 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, or will just connect you to them. You need to do things. So Doris, that's my take on that. Thank you very much for the question. Then we have the Real Wise, somebody with his name called Real Wise. Baba, a greeting to, I need confidence to speak in public in extraordinary strength. Can you help me? Mr. Real Wise, no, I cannot help you, but you can help yourself by finding out what you can do to boost yourself. If you don't have confidence in speaking in the public, then there may be certain things you can do that will build that confidence in you. And if you want to go through the spiritual way to know what to do to build your confidence, you may need to do a reading, do a spiritual consultation to find out what you should do to develop that confidence. Thank you very much, Real Wise. And then somebody also replying to Kukubo, God knows, he said, Papa, I heard, okay, high school, Kukubo, God knows. I meant, when are you going to visit your secondary school? What do you want me to go and do at my secondary school, Mr. Kukubo? Do I tell you I want to go back to school? Or visiting my secondary school will change my secondary school? No, it is not my desire to go and visit my secondary school. If there is any activity there and I am invited, of course I will go. But it's not my desire to be going to secondary school. And also, the secondary school, Hokwe Ipi Secondary School, was built on my ancestors' land. So that place somehow belonged to my fathers and my grandfathers. So my going there doesn't make any difference. So long as I come to Hawaii as a child of Hawaii, that is enough. Going to the secondary school, what do you want me to go and do there? Is there anything that is going on there that you think that my presence that is going there is necessary? Kukubo. No, you see, when you ask questions, ask very relevant questions. I'm not angry with this, but ask relevant questions. Because what is the use of me going to my secondary school? How many people go to their secondary school just because they've gone to that secondary school before? I don't do things that, anyway, I'm not like everybody else, and I don't do things that people should see that I am this person or I am that person. When I was in EP Secondary School in the 80s, no, in the 70s, when I was in EP Secondary School, my assistant headmaster, Mr. Money of blessed memory, maybe you might have heard his name, Mr. Money, one Mr. Money who was he looked at me one day and said I look like a magician, in a very derogatory way, that I look like a magician, and it's like an insult in front of my fellow students or colleagues. And I didn't take it easy. I felt very bad. But eventually, by destiny, I became a real full-time magician, an illusionist, and I have performed around the world, all the way to Singapore, Japan, wherever it took me. But then at that time, it was like an insult because I was looking like a magician. I wish he was alive to see me today, but then God knows why. So I don't just go to places just because people want me to go there or I want to go and show off. I'm older than that kind of thinking. If there's anything important at my school and they call me, I will go. I remember when Mr. Jani or somebody was a headmaster, I had gone there trying to get solicit funding from Japanese government or Japanese embassy to build a dining hall or a hostel for the school. But then it didn't come to because the documentation that we were asking from the school to give us to support this didn't come through. So it's not that I don't know my secondary school. I know where it is. And if I need to go there, I'll go. But I don't just go to places just because people wanted me to go there. I'm not that kind of person. Thank you very much, Kukubo. And then I have Aboye Abochise, blessings family, blessings to Baba and all African Magic Temple. That is our sister Ifakemi Aisha Mesket. Amen. Thank you very much, Ifakemi. Thank you very much for the blessings. Then we have Henry Hansen. Wow, Papa, thank you for sharing the solutions of this dream. Thank you so much. Doc, thank you very much for the question. We're all learning. Then we have Richard Ewuku saying, thank you, Papa. And then Edem Maugbe, Togbe Enuledo. Oh, Togbe Edem Enuledo. Akpekaka Wezo. You are welcome to the section. And then we have the real wise again, Baba. Also, when I dreamt and I say it won't come to reality. But when I keep it, it comes to reality. Please, what to do? What can I do? Yes, that's what I told you already. Go to the toilet, pit toilet, or your water closet, or whatever you have this thing, and then tell the toilet that this dream, the way you saw it in your dream, is scary. So it should not come onto the physical plane, since if it comes, it will destroy. So you speak this one to the toilet. If you are using the water closet, after doing so, you flush it. If it is a pit toilet or any other one, just speak to it and speak to it, and then you spit with your saliva into it that this thing should be taken and go. So that's the way to prevent these things from happening into the physical plane if they are scary for you. And then we have Doris Amwa again saying thanks very much. And Doris, you are very welcome. And we have our big sister Jenna Renee Henderson. I can testify to what you are saying about ancestral connection. My journey has just started. Thanks you and your shrine. Thank you, AMT family, for putting me on the correct path and guiding me in the right direction. Nothing outranks Vodu. Thank you very much, Jenna. I'm very grateful, and you are welcome to the section. Thank you very much. Then we have Abraham's team. How to connect with ancestors. Pour libation. Pray to them. Our way of prayer to our ancestors is by pouring libation. You can choose to pour ordinary water. You can choose to pour drink to your ancestors. But when you are pouring the libation to your ancestors, please mention their names. Tell them who you are pouring the libation for. It should not just be like, oh, my ancestors come and drink. There is nobody in the ancestral world called ancestor. They all have names, and you must use your ancestors, their name, to pray. You don't just go and say, I want to see my ancestors. I'm visiting my ancestors. When you don't even know, or I'm feeding my ancestors. When you don't even know the names of the people you are feeding. You don't even know your ancestors. Sometimes people mistakenly think that the Voodoo or the spirits that we work with are called ancestors. They are not ancestors, they are Voodoos and they are spirits. Our ancestors were people who had shared the same DNA with us, but they are no more alive. Those are the people you call ancestors. You don't call the spirits that you work with ancestors. And you don't call the spirits that your ancestors left when they were alive ancestors. You can call them ancestral spirits or spirits of your ancestors. But your ancestors are people who had shared your DNA at one time when they were living. Or you are sharing their DNA after they are gone or when they were living. So that is what we call ancestors. So it is not like a lot of people in the diaspora, I'm sorry to say, have been making that mistake. And so I'm praying to my ancestors. Oh, this is my ancestor. Who is your ancestor? Your ancestors must have names. And that name is what link you to them. My ancestors may not be your ancestors. And your ancestors may not be your next door neighbor's ancestors. So you people should try as much as possible to know and research and find out who your ancestors are. And so when you are praying to your ancestors, you can mention their names. Then alone, they will be able to hear you. But just by saying, oh, my ancestors come and have a drink, my ancestors come and eat this biscuit, it doesn't happen like that in this our spirituality. It is just by the way. It will not work. Then we have real wise again. Baba, please, can you help me with physical strength to defend myself whenever I am attacked by many people? Mr. Real Wise, me, I'm not a Kung Fu master. I don't know, I don't do karate, I don't do jiu-jitsu or taekwondo. How am I going to help you with the physical power? How do you expect me to help you with physical strength? You need to go to gym, build your body, and then learn how to fight and defend yourself. So don't think spirituality is everything. If you are lenge and you meet a giant and you think you can beat him, he'll beat you well. So it is not me who is going to help you with physical. I'm not a karate master. I'm teaching Vodu here. If you want to learn Vodu and you want to use Vodu to help you so that things that will attack you cannot come closer to you, and even when they attack you, they should not harm you. That's a different thing. But physical strength, where will I get it from? If you are lenge and you want to be, even if sometimes you are fat and you have not built your stamina up and you think that you can fight people, they will beat you. My brother, they will beat you very well. Don't be deceiving yourself. Voodoo is not just a child's play. So please, it's not a child's play. The word voodoo or what we practice in every culture as voodoo is not a child's play. It's not like somebody can get a juju and say, I'm getting a fighting juju. And when you get there, you are not strong. You think you call the juju will be able to make you, help you beat. They'll beat you, I tell you, they'll beat you and you or juju together. If the person even like will take your juju and throw it away in front of your eyes, and you will see that your juju doesn't get power. So people who use juju to fight, somehow they are physically also they develop and they build themselves for attack. So where their strength will fail, that's when they will use the spiritual power to add to their physical strength. So juju doesn't give people physical strength. Okay, let's go on. We have our big sister Oluchi Osuwoke in France. Thank you very much. It's a great peace and love, Papa. Thank you very much, Oluchi. We are very grateful and thank you for joining the section. We have Ifakemi Aisha Maskenet. Amen. Baba, what is a simple ritual we can do if we want to switch our ancestors and spirit guides like Orishas to a new shrine? When you want to switch, I'm not very sure if I understand the question, big sister, if I can. But what I can say is that if you want to switch our ancestors and spirit guides like Orishas to a new shrine, I don't know. I don't know how to switch your ancestors into a new shrine. If you have physical spirits and voodoos that are with you, some people call it shrine, you just have to pray to them and tell them, use their incantations and tell them that you want to move them from one place to another. It's as simple as that. Because definitely when they make a voodoo for you, as I said, some people are calling it shrine. I didn't understand that a voodoo on its own is also called shrine. Usually I thought that a shrine is where voodoos are placed. But then I've seen that so many wise people also are using the voodoo itself as a shrine. But I never use it that way. I call them voodoo. I don't call them a shrine. If it is this one is a voodoo abochi, and this is a voodoo akaini, And I don't call Akan as a shrine on its own. But then maybe I'm not deep into English language, so I won't be able to understand why the voodoo is called a shrine. But I'll also learn about it. But if you want to move your voodoos or your spirits from one place to another, I believe very strongly when the spirits were given to you, they might have given you their incantation and the words that you can use to them to activate them and for them to hear you. You, by using those words and praying, you should be able to move them. But then what I also know is that when people move one spirit from one place to another, before moving the spirit, they usually will do some sacrifice. And this can only be known through a divination. And then when you move the spirit or the voodoo to a new place, you also need to do another sacrifice to make the voodoo to settle. And then you know all these things even before moving the voodoo. So that is what I know. But then apart from that, there may be other people on the platforms that can also share their own experiences and ideas with us. But for me, that's what I know. And then Real Wise is thanks so much, Baba, for everything. Thank you very much, Mr. Real Wise. The truth about spirituality is not a joke, so don't just look at it as a video game. No, it's more than that. We have Abraham Leon. Okay, then I was Abraham Tim. It's Abraham Leon, a landmaster in my yard. It is disturbing my wife. A landmaster in my yard is disturbing my wife and children, waking me up at 11 or to 12 every night. What to do? Move out. If you don't build a house of your own and your landlord is disturbing you, move out. That's all you do. Because the person, you don't know how much money he put into building his house. So it's not like somebody give you juju and you go and kill the landlord of the house. Move out. And I say, how can I learn voodoo? By meeting voodoo people. But if you want to learn voodoo because you want to use it to attack people, I tell you that you will die before the people you want to attack. Yes, then and then Doris Abwai said they will beat you and your juju all together. He's laughing. Yes, they will beat you and your juju. There were some students of mine who were in this house long time ago, talking about 18 plus years ago. And then they were having problem with girl matter, and somebody's girl and their girl, or this girl belongs to somebody and somebody is taking it, and they were fighting. There was a fight that came out, and then they, not knowing there was a boy that they were going to be. The guy was very good in karate, and that guy too is also my boy, but they didn't know him. They didn't know that he also belongs to my shrine or belongs to my temple. So my new boys came and carried some talismans that we made for them, and then they wore the talisman. They ran out. They were going to beat the guy. The guy beat them up well. He beat them up very well, and I only God helped them. They were able to bring the talisman back home. So if you think that your head you can go and beat people, sometimes they will beat you, because if you don't have physical strength and you don't have techniques of fighting, they will beat you. You cannot just call your name and then you go and no. You need to have a real physical strength as well. And then Dr. Henry Hansen said, "Oh, Papa, you are a Shaolin master." Boom, man. You are a Shaolin master, so automatically you become a Kung Fu master. Thank you. But Doc, how can I be teaching someone how to fight physically when I am only teaching about spirituality here? You only Kung Fu when you go to Shaolin temple. Then you learn how to fight people. And there too, it's not just this. You have to follow the rules and regulations. You must train and practice every day before you can be really strong. Otherwise, you can become a Shaolin, you are from Shaolin temple, but they will beat you. You need to be tough. That's why when the Shaolin films that we had watched, it is only the strong one among the students that stands in front or stands at the back after they beat some of the students in the this, and then he comes out to defend them, or he protect them all, and then the other ones are running away, and he alone will stand them. So even though they are in a Shaolin temple, if you're not strong, they can still beat you. You have to develop your stamina and physical physique in order to be able to fight. So people thinking that the ones that get voodoo, they can go and fight people. Be very careful. You will be disgraced. Then we have Fyoga the Mafioga. Very insightful. Thank you very much, Fyoga the Mafioga. And then we have our big sister again, Ifakeme Aisha Maskanet. I said, sorry, Baba, I mean, what can I do to move the voodoo to a new shelf or table from the old one I had them on? Here in the diaspora, we use a table or bookcase and so on. Yes, I agree. Thanks for the answer of getting a reading. First, and asking if they want to first and ask if they want to move. They make like their old spot. They may like their old spot, whether table, bookcase, or corner in the home. Yes, sure. I even now I also use bookcases, tables to keep my voodoo. Not some of them that I keep in the room. They are on tables and they are in the shelf. It does not mean anything for the voodoo. Once you are able to take care of them, they are okay. If that table is not broken down and that they will fall off, then that is that. But otherwise, they are fine. But if you yourself feel like you wanted to give them a new place, then the best is to ask them. If you have cowries, you can ask them through the cowries and ask them if they are okay to move, and then what should you do? But if you want a better divination, you can contact diviners to ask your voodoos for you to know how to move them to a new place. Sometimes you would think that the new place will be the best place for them, but the voodoo themselves, they may like the old place. Like some of us, we like our old lifestyle than a new lifestyle. And then we have a great day here. My name is Justine from Washington. I believe I will be the most powerful spiritualist in America. I believe I will be the most powerful spiritualist in America. My manifestation is so powerful, it's scary. If I spill blood to Orisha and ask for what I want, oh, that's great. Let's say your name is Great Day too. That's a very great and wonderful thing. Maybe you will become the most powerful spiritualist in America. God bless you, and may the ancestors continue to be with you. Then we have Lizzie Beard. Greetings, family. Hello, Liz Beard. Good greetings to you and good afternoon from Accra, Ghana. Then Great Day saying, I'm very fetish and I don't know why. I also don't know why. I don't know why. Because I don't know you, so I cannot know why you are very fetish. And I cannot tell. I'm very sorry, but I cannot tell. Then we have Great Day. I need someone to show me how to use this power. Or show me how to make it stronger. Now you said that you are so powerful already, and you can make things happen. So why do you need people again to show you how to use your power that you have? When you have power already, do people need to teach you how to use it? Please, the thing that brought the power to you should be able to teach you how to handle it. I'm very sorry. Let's go on. We have Charlotte Pamel. Good morning, teacher and AMT. Thank you for another day of spiritual learning and empowerment. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Charlotte. We are very grateful for you joining us this afternoon in African Magic Temple. Wishing you all the best, and may the ancestors continue to be with you. Then we have Ajua Morningstar L, Grand Rising from Queens, New York. Thank you very much, Ajua Morning. We are very grateful that you joined. Then we have our sister Monica Kova. All these people are on YouTube. Monica Kopa said, good morning, blessings to you and your family. Enlightenment gives me strength. I'll try to use that knowledge without judgment. I pray and ask my ancestors to guide me. Thank you very much. That is the very way that it should go, Monica. We are all learning so that we can empower ourselves as well as empower our dependents. But it's rather unfortunate that some people think that they have enough power already and they are in possession of so much power already. And that's why when such people ask me questions that they have power, they have this, I don't know how I'm going to teach them. Because they have the power already. Why should I teach them? When you have power, and you know that you have the power, and you believe that you can become the greatest spiritualist in the whole of America, so how come I am going to be the one going to teach you again, since you have it already? I'm very sorry. I don't teach arrogance. Abraham Leon again. I'm from Guyana, south of America. I enjoy your program. Really interested in learning Voodoo for the good of humanity, not to hurt anyone. Thanks. Okay, Abraham Leon. Yes, we all have to learn whatever we are privileged to learn for the betterment of ourselves, our dependents, and for the good of humanity. And that's what I teach at my shrine. I'm not teaching people Voodoo to go and use it to harm anybody or to attack anyone anywhere. If you want to learn Voodoo for your own self, for your benefits, and to use it to help your dependents and help humanity, I am in with you. Thank you. Then we have a sister, Bella Jidepo Bacha. Hello, Bella. Look at me for a quick. Nyawele Doji. Deviade for Maune Yiramilo. Bella Jidepo Bacha is saying, enjoying today's section. I love all the stories and anecdotes. Many blessings to you. Thank you very much, Bella, and my regards to your husband. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on. Is it finished here? Okay, I think we are done with all the so far. Facebook and YouTube are done, and then now let me go to people on Clubhouse or in Clubhouse. I don't know how to say. Are they on Clubhouse or they are in Clubhouse? They are in. Okay. So those in Clubhouse, please. I think I have spoken other people's minds and everything. So please bring something from your end and let us also share it and then learn from it.
Hello, Papa.
Yes.
This is Senna.
Yes, yeah.
Please,
yes.
For those of us who may not have been here last week and hearing about our plans at African Magic Temple on the 31st of December, can you please briefly tell us what will be going on and how those interested can participate?
Okay, that's a very good thing. I have almost forgotten about it. I will, before I go on, let me read a message from our sister Oluchi, also okay in Paris. I don't get it. How can you say you have power and you are going to be the most powerful person in America and still here you are asking questions? How can you use your power well? I believe at times some people fool themselves. I'm just saying the truth as it is. It's my own truth, peace, and Papa. Yes, that's why, big sister Oluchi, that's why I was surprised. You have power, and you know that you are going to be you're powerful in the whole of America, and you are so fetish. I don't understand what fetish is, because for me, that term is very derogatory of our culture, whereby someone calls us, we are fetish. We are not fetish. We are doing our tradition. So when somebody says, I'm a fetish, or you are doing fetish, I don't really understand what it means. So if you have such a power, why do you have to ask someone how to use it? So, okay, I have a cup of water in front of me. And we all know that water, you drink it. So if I'm thirsty, do I have to ask someone, how do I drink the water? Oh, you don't ask people how you drink water. You must just drink the water. So anyway, there's a lot of arrogancy on social media. People who do not even know anything, they create impressions that they know everything. Such people, honestly, I don't teach. I want people to be very humble, sincere, to say, I want to learn. Then I will teach you. But if you say you have it, you know it, I can do this, I can do that, then why should I be your teacher again? What you know already, nobody teaches you. What you don't know, that's what you learn. That's what my teacher told me. That's what my father told me. And that's why I am always a student everywhere I go, whether you are an old person or a young person. If I know you have some knowledge or wisdom that I don't have, I'll go and learn it from you. I will never say because I know something already, so I know. No, I don't do that. So let us learn that this arrogance and pride is what is destroying the world. People want to be gods. Or people are behaving like gods, as like in Christianity and in Islam. I'm sorry to say so, but that's what it is. And we'll go on to Sena's question. On the 31st of December 2021, we will be doing our end of year Thanksgiving. Is it end of year and Thanksgiving ceremonies? Actually, we are going to start from the 21st of December. We will start feeding the Vodus, changing herbs for them and moving on until the 31st. That will be the finale, where we will be invoking the archangel or the deity that will be ruling next year. We will be drawing Kabbalistical seals of the archangel that is going to come into the world and invoke its presence so that it can lead us and lead our path through the year 2022 until we get to the end. Because this year, which was the year of, when was this year? The new year this year? Eh? No, not next year. Next year is Saturday, but this year in which we are. So that if it is not a leap year, then was it Thursday? That means Archangel Sakiel. Sachiel, some people say Sachiel. Sakiel, who means Jupiter, was the one ruling this year, 2020. So we invoked Archangel Sachiel. Yes, I think we invoke Archangel Sachiel or Sakiel, whatever you want to call him. We invoked him at the beginning of the year or at the end of the few minutes to the end of the year. We invoke his presence to bring good things. You know, Jupiter brings wealth. It brings money, it brings abundance and all these things. So those people who had actually participated in this, a lot of them will testify to this testimony or to this, that this year 2021, even as much as it was bad as because of the COVID, so many people's life has improved. Our lives have improved better than before because it was the year of Jupiter. And now we are going into the year of, we are supposed to be going into the year of, Archangel Aniel, which is Frida. But I think we have a leap year, so it has leaped into a Saturday. So we are going to the Archangel Cassiel, which is going to rule this next coming 2022. So we are going to invoke that Archangel to guide us. And then Archangel Cassiel, in one way or the other, has got a linkage with our deity Togbe Jokpata. So it's going to be the year of Togbe Jokpata as well. So we will be working these archangels and their subordinates and their principalities and all kind of things through the year 2022. So the end of year ceremony is to thank the spirits and
It was a Friday.
It was Friday last year.
This year, 1st January was Friday.
Okay, then we were in the year of Archangel Aniel, which also brings abundance and productivity and all this. Is that a spirit called Frida in the Greek mythology, and I think it's called in Haitian Voodoo Ezili Frida, and then we call it in my shrine Allah Jadu, and is one of the only female archangel among the 7 archangels in the Hebrew cosmology. That's I would say. So we are learning spirituality, and African Magic Temple is a pot of knowledge from all kinds of spiritual practices around the world. We're talking about Ewe Vodu, but we have also got information and knowledge on other spiritual practices that we pick out the good things in them and we teach them to our students. We use them for ourselves. So at the end of the year, 31st December, which is going to be the finale, we are going to do prayers, and we will also jubilate and see how the next year will be for us. We will usher in the new year in a grand style. Usually what we do is that after setting up the seal or everything in Hebrew, we do as much as able to copy the exact Hebrew letters and words, and then we draw the seal, and then in the middle of the seal we are going to place a bucket of water into which certain herbs and other things will go, and then we are going to use that after charging it. After charging the water, people go and make wishes and bath this water, and truly before the half of next year or before the half of each year, changes do come into their life. We are not Christians, we are not pastors or whatever, but we know about Jewish rituals as well. So sometimes I inculcate them into my Voodoo practice, because after all, what is Voodoo? Voodoo means spirit. And wherever I find spirit that is very relative and ready to work with me, I work with them. So this is what the 31st ceremony is. So those of you who want to come, we are expecting some Bokors from other shrines who may also come and grace the ceremony. They may be coming with their drumming. We also have our drumming group now here in the African Magic Temple. There will be abundance of food, free drink, and that's what the celebration is all about. We want to thank our ancestors, and we want to thank the spirits that we are working with. So we will start from the 21st of this month, and we will be feeding ancestors. We will be feeding ancestors before the 31st. So any one of you who wanted their ancestors to be fed, just like I have been doing it every year, you can send in the names of the ancestors that you wanted to be fed, and as well as send us a token money. We will use those to buy, and then we will do a collective ancestral feeding by cooking and calling your ancestors to come and dine. But those who want to do it individually to make it very strong, when you want just your ancestors to be fed on your behalf, we can do that also separately for you, just for you, and we will do that. But we will be doing this once before the end of the year, so that at the end of the year, the 31st, from 30th, 31st, we will just have freedom and be teaching and doing consultation and readings for people for them to know what is it. And the 1st of January, those who will still be with us, you can now do a yearly reading, that what is in the year for you as an individual. From the 1st of January, it could be the midnight after we finish our prayers, you can start to do reading for people who wants to know what this new year 2022 hold in store for them, how they can go about and what things they should do to make it a successful year for them. So these are some of the activities that are going to take place at the African Magic Temple in Accra. We are having visitors coming from Italy, from the US, from India, We are expecting people from other parts of the world. Once their flights are confirmed, we'll tell you where else people will be coming from. But this, so far, we know we'll be getting some people from Italy, some from the UK, and we'll be getting from India. We are having 2 teams or 3 teams from the US coming over to join the ceremony. And if it is not too late for you and you feel like you want to join, you are all welcome to African Magic Temple end of year rituals and Thanksgiving. Thank you. Sena.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. Is that enough?
Yes, Papa, I think it's enough.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I have almost forgotten about it. But you should write it and post it so that people can be reminded, okay?
Yes. That's what we'll do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, let's see who do we have now. We don't have any question on YouTube. We don't on the Facebook. We have a big sister Oluchi. Is it? No. We have a big sister. No. We have no. Is that the last one?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have anything on Facebook either. So if anybody in Clubhouse wanted to ask a question or put some suggestion out, let's bring it out so that we can all juggle it out and learn from it. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Nuku, how are you?
I'm fine, Papa.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. For those who don't have an idea who their ancestors are, maybe they are orphans for some reason, they don't know them. Like, what do they do? What's the path for it when they are performing libation and that kind of thing? And then the second thing is that if, for instance, somebody adopts a child or something like that, can the child become spiritually part of that family? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, it's a very, very interesting question because a lot of people are having those challenges. Yeah, the truth about your ancestors are the people that you share your DNA with. But supposing you have been adopted or because you were an orphan and then you have been adopted, you should know the people who had adopted you and accepted you as a child. Even though these people may not be your biological parents, or they may not share any DNA with you, you can still regard them as your ancestors. How and why? Because a father is not only a person who born the child, but a father and a mother is the one who actually nurtured you, brought you up, and make you to be a human being. So you can regard this your newfound parents who are your adopted parents as your ancestors. So when you are praying, you mention them and tell them that they, since they are passed on and they are in the ancestral world, they should take your message to your biological ancestors that you are feeding them and you are greeting them and you are pouring libation to them. Since you don't know them and your adopted parents may probably know them or not know them, but since they are dead and gone, we in Ewe culture assume that the ancestral world is also another world just like us, where we are here. People everywhere in every planet or whatever, or every continent whatsoever in that ancestral world too. So a message from one person from here can be delivered just like the postman can take your letter from here and take it to any part of the world and be able to deliver. So when you don't know your biological ancestral root, the people you know as fathers could be used as your ancestors to get to your real biological ancestors.
Okay, thank you.
Does it make a sense to you?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hello, Papa.
Yes.
Just a follow-up to that question, please.
Yes.
So, for example, you just mentioned that people who nurtured you, who are, let's say, your adopted parents, could be your ancestors. In that way, could somebody who, let's say, was a mentor to you, somebody who played a very significant role in your, whether it's your professional career or your upbringing, if that person passes on, is that appropriate to regard them as an ancestor to you and offer them libation?
Definitely. You can see when I pray, I call Togbi Dafliso. I have no blood relationship with him. And Togbi Tuji, I have a blood relationship, but when we trace it, when he was alive, it's a very distant relationship, but somewhere we had a relationship. And then all the teachers that had taught me along the way, Togbe Jivenu, Toboko Jivenu, Afachao, and Togbe Kavi Zapao. I may not have any direct blood relationship with them, but when they were living, we had this, we have, what will I say? We have become a family. And they had looked after my welfare, and they tried to help me to grow spiritually, and in everything they care for me as they had cared for their own children, or how else they would care for their own children, and they had given me courage on this spiritual path. So when I am praying, I invoke them as my ancestors, or people who are connected to me as a person, who had been part of my spiritual growth as well as my physical growth. So I pray to them and call their names, so they also respond to me. So you can pray to your adopted people who adopt you as a child, or adopted parents, and people who had been good friends to you when you were growing up, whether spiritually or physically, people who had played part in your living today, or in you being alive today. Such people could also be called as your ancestors. You could pray to them and it will be accepted.
Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. Okay, we have one more question from Ifakemi Aisha Meskanet. Amen. Baba, I have a question. What if we want to celebrate on December 21st but cannot travel to your temple? Ifakemi, it's not December 21st, so it's 31st. The ceremony is actually, the pinnacle of the ceremony is going to be on the 31st of December, but we will start the rituals from 21st, so at least it gives us about 10 days to be preparing, so that we will not have pressure on us on the last day. It's okay. I have a question. What if we want to celebrate on December 21st but cannot travel to your temple? What can others simply do at home to welcome the guardian Vodu that governs 2022 into our lives? Okay, if I can be, the whole thing is that we are going to be live throughout the ceremony, especially on the 31st. We are going to be live. You can also join it online. You can also make your wishes. You can also pray, because at the end of the day, the spirit is a universal energy. We are only trying to tap it at our shrine so that we can associate with it. But if you are also connected in such a way, you can connect with it, because we are not the spirit. We are not the spirit. I know, and I remember sometimes when I'm even praying here, people are vibrating far away, even in the Caribbeans, because their mind and their souls, their mind, their inner self is all tuned to what I am doing, and the energy can reach. It is very common in Voodoo that I am here, somebody has never seen me before, but when I do a ritual for them,
the ritual will act and they will be successful in what they are doing over there. So when we are doing this on the 31st or from the 21st, we will try as much as possible to have enough data so that we can be online most of the time, so that people can tune in, and also you can send in your wishes, your dreams, and we will pray and also wish you well. So don't be afraid, rest assured, you will be part of the host. I think last year too, we were live even when we were feeding ancestors for the group of people who wanted us to feed their ancestors for them. We were live for them and they watched the whole ritual. So this year too, we are hoping that everything will go on well. We are not afraid of light off, which we call doom saw in Ghana. We are not afraid of light off because we have a standby plant of 30 kVA plant that is in the shrine that can power everything. So we are sure that definitely we'll be live and all of you will join in as if you were here. Just like how we are talking now. And when I pray here, I pray for all of you. So it will be that day when I sit down and I start to do my rituals, all of you will definitely benefit, because spirit is not limited to a place. Spirit is a universal energy. It cannot be limited in any way. So you can always feel it when your mind is tuned in. Thank you. And then we have Richard there. Go, let me see. Richard Ewusi. Papa, may the Almighty God and the great ancestors, our land, grant you long life, peace and good health, so that you can keep on enlightening us in the spiritual world and our darling life. Also, peace be unto you, Baba. Thank you very much, Richard Ewusi. I'm very grateful. And may peace and blessings be upon you too. Then we have Doris Amatogwi. Last week you talked about reincarnation. And you said death is like a dream which becomes your reality, right? Yes, if you remember. Yes, it is correctly. And I have been thinking about this since last week. What of we are the ancestors? It could be. And then that means if we are the ancestors, then somebody also somewhere in another world is praying to us to bless them. So if we are very strong here and doing it, then someone somewhere in another world is also benefiting. So my dear Doris, yes, we could also be the ancestors of the people who are in another world. So do we know what they are doing there? We don't know. And maybe they too, they are praying to us that their ancestors are here, and we are working here for them. They too, they are working all for us. So that's why it is very good to know who is your ancestor, so you can identify them, and then you can call them. Then they know that you are calling them. And if they also know us, and we are the ancestors here, then definitely they too probably they are calling our names and calling us, and we are here also supporting as well as empowering them. So as they are also empowering us, because when we need help from the ancestors, we get it. So if they too they need help from us, they also get it. That's the unity or the connection between us and the ancestral world. We are not going to go to any white beard person, whether it's a black man or a white man who is sitting somewhere with goggle on his eyes with a pen and a big book in front of them to see whether you have stolen your mother's fish. That's why you write inside, and when you come, he'll put you inside fire. We are not waiting for that. We are believing in our ancestors. Thank you very much, Doris Amwa. Yes, then Ifa Kemi, Aisha, is it not this woman again? Ifa Kemi, Aisha Maskanet is Amen. Say, okay, Baba, thank you. I will tune in and tell my friends to do the same. Thanks. Thank you very, very much, Ifa Kemi. We are very grateful. And I'm looking forward to see all of you that day online. Thank you very much. What's the time now?
4:13.
So we have about 17 minutes to go. So please, if you have questions to ask, please start asking them, because I don't want the last minute when we are about to close and then now before people to start asking questions. So please do ask questions now. If you are in Clubhouse, on Facebook or YouTube, please do ask questions now, because I don't want us, when we are about to close, then so many questions start coming in.
Hello, Papa.
Yes, Senna.
I think that maybe it would be useful to just retouch the topic of the museum in Germany. What is the situation? Why were we involved? And what is your assessment of the situation for those of us who were not here or who could not listen in? They said that we're talking. I think today too you mentioned about going to Germany.
Because when Fofo came on the line, I will be going with his father. And the last Zoom meeting we had with the museum in Germany and the professors in Germany, in the religious university, Professor Brigitte Meyer, and Professor Kojo Gavua, which is Fofo's father. And then there's a professor from the University of Togo, who is currently in Ghana lecturing at the one of the anthropological department, and also myself, and then of course Antonio, and then the professor who is in charge of the museum in Bremen, Germany. There is this voodoos and deities, people may call it shrines, whatever, who were taken away from our Ewe land about 180 years ago by the Bremen missionaries when they brought Christianity to our areas. They took these spirits or voodoos or spiritual artifacts, and they took them to Germany. But then the good thing about it is that before they took them away from the people who were practicing our traditional spirituality, the priests or the Bremen mission priests had written very vivid notes about each voodoo, what it does, and the circumstances on which it was brought to them. And even some, I think they were demonstrated in front of the priest to see the power or the efficacy in these voodoos. So when they were taken to Germany or to Bremen, they were housed in a museum, in a climate control museum, in this, especially the ones from my area in Hokwe, Peki, Bando, and their environment. So many of them were taken from there because the professor came to see me about 3 years ago, before COVID, and they brought all the photographs and the information that were written on the about the voodoo for me to assess and see what they were. So by my looking onto this, we had almost about 3 hours of talk on them, and eventually they realized that I know so much about these voodoos that had been around for about 100 plus, 200 plus years, and they have been in Germany. So they are trying to get the academics like the Professor Gavua and other people from the University of Ghana and the University of Togo, as well as this religious university where Antonio has just graduated as in a PhD in anthropology and in voodoo studies. So all these professors think that it is important for me as a spiritualist because they can see that I have so much knowledge about our traditional voodoos, and I also happen to have the sixth sense, what people are calling the third eye. So they are including me in the team of the professors. These academics. These are highly rated and respected professors. They are including me in their group to go to Germany next year if all things are okay, so that I can go and take a look at the voodoos that the Bremen mission have taken over 100 plus years ago, and then see which ones are active, which ones still have spirit, and if there are any of them that needed to be re-evoked or reactivated, and then we can. And then we are also thinking of asking the German government and the Bremen mission to release these our religious artifacts and deities back to we the Ewes, so we can bring them back home. Because to me, these are like they are beings. They may not be human beings, but they are beings, spirit beings, who had been kept in a lockout, like in a jail for over 100 plus years. And when they spoke about it to me about 4 or 5 years ago, I felt very sorry for these voodoos that they have been there. The first question I asked when they came back is that, have they been feeding them? And if you can share the Zoom meeting too, that was the same question I asked the person who was in charge of the museum in Bremen, whether these voodoos had been poured a drink for, or had they been fed or anything. And the lady professor was saying that she could not be sure whether it has happened at any time. So that means for the 100 and plus years, these voodoos that came from our land had not eaten, they had not drank water or anything. Me as a spiritualist, I feel very sorry that someone or a group of people can punish, whether it's punishment or out of ignorance or whatever, I cannot know, that they took something from people as religious artifacts. I believe very strongly that if it were to be Jewish religious artifacts, nobody would have allowed them to be kept there for this long. People would have been fighting on social media and everything to ask people to release them. But since it is African and they belong to our practice of joka and voodoo, and also because the white man or the Bremen missionaries believe strongly, or maybe they told our people that our practices were devilish, they did not care whether those things were fed or not, and maybe by not feeding them, they make them not to be strong. By not feeding them, they make the energies in these voodoos to be weak in order not to attack them. Because they took the best ones, the ones that could do things, instant things, and those things were taken away. So we are praying and hoping that when next year comes and everything is okay, myself with the learned professors, Professor Gavois, and I don't know, I forgot the name of the Togo one, and then also Professor Ajay Sela, Kojo, Professor Kojo something, Amele, Amele, or something. Yeah, one professor. He's from, and then Professor Ajay, Dr. Ajay, who is also did his PhD in voodoo art, and I was there when he defended his thesis at the graduate hall. I was there. I was invited, and I was part of the people who were with him because I also did some research. Azamede. Yeah, so the other professor is called Professor Koku Azamade from Togo, University of Togo, and now currently is in Ghana teaching at the University of Ghana. But he's actually also connected to the museum in Germany, and he did a research on it. So he himself had seen these Ewe Vodus there. But according to the museum, they don't allow everybody to see them. And even when they are doing exhibition, they don't bring them out because they are locked up in a particular special place that not everybody goes there. And I believe very strongly because of the energy of these vodus, that's why they try to lock them so that nobody goes there to protect themselves. So this is the whole thing we are trying to go. They are trying to. We are trying to convince them to release them so that we can bring them back home. And my suggestion is that if because according to the talk we had the other day, it is the Ghana government who has to ask the German government to allow it to come. But the problem is that Ghana government is a Christian government, and we practice a hypocritical Christianity in this country. We would rather go to Israel and ask for favor so that our things can go well for us than to ask our own traditional spiritualists and shrines to help us to achieve the same. So it will be very, very impossible that the government in power would want these vodus to come back. The woman at the museum, the professor even said that there was a Ghanaian lecturer, a professor who came to do a research, and when they told her about the vodus that were kept there for so many years, and if they could do something about to bring them back, say no, these are old things. No, I don't want to get involved. So I'm wondering how the Ghana government, and with all these pastors that are around the government as CES and prophets and whatnots, people who call themselves prophets, but when it comes to critical things, they start running away. Prophets that are keeping bodyguards around them to protect them from what I don't know. They will not allow these things to be brought back to Ghana. So my suggestion was that the university can apply to bring them back as religious artifacts or cultural artifacts that can be used to study and teach people, especially in the Department of Anthropology and history. And if the university is able to apply, and the German through the government of Ghana, and the things are German government approaches the Bremen mission and the museum, and they allow us to bring it back. It will be very difficult for the university to go and keep those things at the university in some room and lock them up, because it will be just the same like as they were in Germany. So our suggestion, especially my suggestion, is that we at African Magic Temple would be able to host these our ancestral deities that have been taken away. We are ready to look after them as far as we are alive, and maybe our generations will continue to pour libation and feed them. So this is where we are. But then, as we all know, it is still a very long way away. It is not going to be that easy, and it's not going to be that simple, because governments are going to get involved. But we will be praying to our ancestors and be praying to our spirits so that they can make this possible one day. So this is what is happening, and our going next year, if everything becomes possible. If not because of the COVID, we would have gone a long time. But if we are able to go this time, the first thing is just to go and assess them, whether their energies are still very active. If not, if they can be reactivated, then we will find a way to reactivate them. That's my take on that. Senna.
Thank you very much, Papa.
You're welcome. Thank you too for the question. But these questions and some of these things, I don't want to bring it to the public, because until it is done, I don't want the public to get to know. But we are teaching and we are learning, so I can give answer on that. Thank you very much. Is there anything there for us to read? Okay, we have a. Oh no, go up a little bit. Let me see who is up. There's somebody there up. Okay, that was our sister Ifakemi. Okay, then we go to Sister Oluchi also. Okay, saying Papa said they well. You said it well. Put you inside fire. Yeah, they'll put you inside fire. I don't want to go inside fire. I don't think there's any fire, but I'm not going to that kind of God. A God that will put you inside fire. Why worship Him? Right? Did we create ourselves, or did we make a mistake to be here? Then they say you take a book and God is always looking into the well to see whether you stole your mother's fish, so that when you go there, they will put you inside fire. Why should God put you inside fire when you stole your mother's fish? Why God did not stop you from stealing the fish? It's very interesting. Okay, if I can say, oh gosh, Baba, this is amazing. I pray that we get our Vodus back and that every last one is returned to Africa, and every Baba, please try hard to get them back. Oh my, I wish I was on my way to Germany with you all now too. I am feeling really sad for this. So sad how they stole our artifacts. Breaks my heart somehow. I'm very interested in this journey you will make to Germany. I pray that all the powers needed to protect all of you on this journey will follow you in goodness and success. Ashe, keep us posted, Baba. Oh, sure, we will keep you all posted. And but then we just had the first real meeting, which is between all the people. The first two meetings was just between me and the professors from the university in Netherlands who came to tell me that there's a museum in Germany who wanted us to look at some of their things and this. So we spoke, and the second time too we spoke about it, and this is the third time that now the professors from different universities and the museum in Germany and from Ghana, we are now talking together as one. We did that on the 25th of November, and we are yet to have another meeting. So I'm not sure whether it will materialize, but I am praying that it does. Thank you very much, if I can. I'm very grateful. Then we have Ajakum William. Hello, great insight, Papa. Willie, how are you? It's been a while, long time. I haven't seen you, haven't heard from you until recently. Anyway, happy birthday to you. Belated happy birthday to you. Then we have Tessia Harris. Greetings, Baba. There are non-profit organizations that are investing in fighting for the decolonization of indigenous and African art. You might also want to look into them. I have participated in some of those groups. Okay, Tessia Harris, then you may have to give us the links, and then we will have to link up with them, and maybe if they also put in their words and their support, it will make it easier, because the more people put in their support for us to be able to bring this vodus or our spiritual artifacts back home to Ghana, the easier it will be for the German government and the German Bremen mission. In fact, I believe the Bremen mission, they are ready to release it, but the people who have to take the decision were not among us yet, but definitely there is the desire that they want to release them. That's why they even, I believe that's why they even brought the thought, and that we even got to know that there is something there. Because I here wouldn't even ever know that there is any of my ancestors there Vodus are in Germany. I've never even thought that the Bremen Mission Christian missionaries will be keeping these Vodus in their museum and under a climate control museum in order to keep them as they were from the beginning. So they may be having an interest in releasing them, but the journey is not going to be easy because it's a government to government. It's not like an individual thing whereby I'll just jump into an airplane and go to the museum and then pack them and load them into boxes and bring them back to my shrine. It is not going to be like that. It's a government to government. It's a big thing. So I will need all your prayers, everybody's support. And if you have any groups that can help, please share the link with African Magic Temple, and we will be able to contact them, and then they can give us their support in kind and maybe in monetary terms or whatever, so that the professors and the Bremen missionaries and all this thing would know that people are interested in these vodus, and they may easily release them to us. So thank you very much, Tessia Harris. I'm very, very, very happy about this, and it is good that we have shared this with you. And any of you who can give us the support, we are here. Please do give us the support. And I will be asking Professor Jackie Louise from Louisiana University to also come on board. She's also my student, and she teaches in anthropology and other things. She to University of Missouri, St. Louis. She should also come on board and help us if there's any support that their university or her department can also give us. That would be very great. So Jackie, please, if you are following today's section, you are following today's section, please help so that we can get this artifact back to Ghana, to our shrine. Okay. Sharam, come and see the clubhouse. My phone that is on it is saying that low battery. So see it. I have just put the power. Why were you doing it? You didn't put the power from the beginning. It's okay. Okay. So there we are. So everybody in this one is okay. Everybody in Clubhouse and people who have joined today's teachings, please help us to support us to make this a reality. It will be a plus for all of us, because some of these vodus are very, very, very powerful vodus that the Bremen missionaries have taken away from our ancestors. And I believe in myself that I am capable of reactivating them, those that are good ones, and those that can help humanity, those that will not destroy people just for the sake of destruction. I believe strongly that I have the capacity to reactivate them to work. And maybe this is what the university lecturers or the academics are looking at. So I need your support for everything that I'll be doing. And then we have Ajekum William. I'm doing very well, Papa, and thank you. I surely give you a call, please. Okay, thank you very much, Eweli. And say hello to Mavis for me. Then we have Tessia Harris. You got it. Thank you very much, Tessia. I'm very grateful. Thank you. So I think we are done with Facebook and YouTube. Is there any message from Clubhouse that I can discuss before we close, because we are already 4:30?
If there's anybody on Clubhouse, please go ahead. Any questions or reflections on some of this? I think this Voodoo artifact thing has really piqued a lot of people's interest. So if you have any questions or any words of support or anything like that, please feel free to do so now.
Yeah, good, I guess, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Papa and everybody here. I'm just so intrigued by this, and I wasn't on the talk earlier on, and when I joined, hearing you talk about it, because just yesterday I was on a talk on Clubhouse, and we were talking about, it was about NFTs, which have to do with art and stuff, and we were talking about African masks and pieces in the museums, and how they have to be returned, and just hearing Papa break it down and everything is really moving for me, because I myself have had experiences where I went to the museum and saw some of these Vodus there and was so moved by some of them. You could feel the energy around them. So to hear Papa talk about it and break it down was very fascinating for me, because then I'm also working on actually an art project to show some of these pieces as a way of like letting people know that they are not just art that have been put in glass casings. And when you go to the museums, you can actually feel how it's like they've been imprisoned, like Papa was saying in these cases. So to hear him break it down and everything was just so fascinating for me. And yes, whatever support I can also offer in whatever capacity I can, yeah, I'm there for you. And thank you for what you all are doing in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kojo. We are very grateful, and I'm thankful to you. When the time comes, we'll be letting all of you know what is going on. We will not keep it to ourselves, and we'll inform you. And each and every one of you, you can play some role in helping bring them back to our land. Thank you very much, Kojo. Okay, Sena.
Yes, Papa. I think we can close.
I think we are going to close now, and we have spoken for a while, and I think it's been a very lively section again. Another day, things of good questions and presentations, and I'm very grateful to you all. And I'm going to pray for us and everybody, and may you all have a very fruitful and successful week. Ago. Oh, my dog was yet tongue. Oh, my mauga so welisa. Mauga kitikata. Mauga esen. Meduago. Esen joto, a mejoto, meduago. Eh, may your shaman ham for a show, semi for a show, petit dog. Eh, my young man was orgy, I need to so cacachikas, but she are drying by my jaw floor for playing by Mondorica when I be my kuteka. Eh, may your atawenge de papa sese ayomi meyo ahungba to megba vodu beto to ra kwe meyo afana gonu afagbo majeso opepe to mezo le me da pa vidi meyo mi okeke meyo legba jigbo suba me no mi jimedu anwoso yo nzume legba meyo legba vi meyo apeli afekpo godo sagbaja po fipo no apeli to egbele nyu apeli to yasinyu apeli to ewonu popo wonu no mi o no fun o no meyo ra kaka sise nkuga ma ya si agbo ba fun onya apeli to aya agbalagbo ba fun onya apeli to nya pe meyo mi ora ke dagbe ji meyo mi loro ko hare mi ano na kwera bi dagbe si dagbe na mere ke le soro di me le soro po ne kosoro ame le vidi e de soro me le vi po ne po vi ame le do me le to po re ne po do me le do po do me ta po ne po ta ni me la si chare no po ta na ba si chacha ka ke me be mo no bu na agbebe mo no bu na ye mi fo hara na mi avi ame abe kairi gani be mo jizo le mo jine ko ne togbe mama ori no ko godo lo ya pete dagbe ko mi biane mo jine ko mi abete mi abe yife akaye dongore o ne njo bibi ne no tokle no betalo ne kpolo mi ne kpolo opete ne bade mavo lo but you are Messiah and I'm a sister like Betty never na me opetelo kakuma be mono bunami agbebe mono bunami ngogbe yi be mono bunami asichacha be mono bunami me am we restaurant di me po mi posoro me we restaurant food na o soro bo nkume na giant me fafa never apame maji la no ji jiji la no ji me horomo never no maji la no ji e choji ne jago dugu me horomo never sia. Okay, I have finished the section. I pray for your health. Pray for a successful week. Those of you who are looking for jobs should get jobs. Those who have jobs and they are not finding anything to the job, they should get this. And those who have wives and those who are looking for spouses should find spouses. And those who have got spouses but they are not finding it easy to live together, the doors should open. The ancestors should bring peace in your homes and your children should grow. And those of you who are single parents and looking after your children, may the ancestors and the gods of our fathers continue to bless you and guide you so that you can look after these children. They are the ancestors back to the earth. So may they open the doors for you so that success will come. And I've also prayed for our son, some people's cousins, some people's nephew, Kyrie Ghani, who yesterday was sent home to the ancestors. May he have peaceful journey and may he quickly return to the earth and be among the wise people. Thank you all. I'll see you again next week. May the gods of African Magic Temple and the gods of our fathers and your ancestors continue to bless and open the doors for you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Papa.
You are all welcome. Thank you. Thank you too. Now you get it up there. Okay. You all. Today's session.
No. Because now you have spoiled my car for me.
Like I will do it for you, please. Yeah?
Look at where I was parked. Look at where I was parked.
Still lucky. Uncle, make sure I'm from more.
We should quickly do a feeding of our ancestors before getting the book. That's why today